Hello. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ira Smith, President of Ira Smith Trustee and Receiver Inc. First, we hope that you and your entire family are safe, healthy, and secure during this coronavirus pandemic. I want to assure you that Ira Smith Trustee and Receiver Inc. remains fully operational. Both Brandon Smith and myself are available to speak to you, to hold meetings at any time. We are doing it all by telephone or video meeting in order to keep everyone healthy. Today's Brandon's blog is an update on the Cerb program, and specifically the issue surrounding audits that Canada Revenue Agency is doing on Cerb recipients. So I hope you can watch until the end of this video, because I know you will get value from it. The Canada Emergency Response Benefit, or CERB, is now actually over. It stopped the end of September. However, the federal government is still receiving applications until very early in December, and those applications can be retroactive. The government will process those applications and make payments when approved. The government is going to be spending upwards to around $100 billion in CERB payments. So do you think that CRA is going to want to audit them? Definitely. As you'll recall, when the CERB and other benefits were announced, the government set up right away a snitch line for people to phone in and snitch on people they know who may be working probably for cash, but still collecting the CERB. So for sure, the government is going to do audits. They are going to be looking for two types of people. The first type are those that just made an honest mistake. And in those situations, they will ask the person to repay the excess amount. They will also be looking for people who fraudulently applied. That's hard to say. Those that either didn't qualify, or they did qualify when they applied, and then they had the ability to work for cash, so they were working, earning more than the $1,000 every 2 weeks that they're allowed to make, and still collecting the CERB. In the cases of fraud, the government not only will assess for the overpayment, they will also tack on penalty, interest, and potentially even have criminal charges laid. One area that I believe will be very ripe will be the fact that to apply for CERB, you could have applied through either Canada Revenue Agency or Service Canada. And I don't believe the two sets of computers spoke to each other. So we believe that it was possible for at least part of the time for someone to get approved by applying through Canada Revenue Agency and also applying through Service Canada. So anyone who double dipped will certainly be on the government's radar. So those are the kinds of people the audit is looking for. Now, those people, no one who got the CERB got rich. They got it because they needed the money. They needed it to put food on the table. They needed it to pay the rent or their mortgage because their work was either eliminated during the lockdown, or their hours greatly reduced, or they had to stay home in order to take care of either their children or someone who was sick from COVID-19. Now, the government and Brandon's blog below describes the history of CERB and describes the various transition programs and transitioning onto EI that the government has set up now that the CERB has ended. But people are going to have problems repaying the money, the excess money that they got, either totally innocently by mistake or through fraud. They're going to have trouble repaying that money. There's also going to be a third kind of person who is going to have trouble. And that is, let's assume, someone who did absolutely nothing wrong, did not receive any excess payments either by mistake or otherwise, and now in 2021 they're filling in their 2020 income tax return. As described by Brandon down below, the CERB is taxable. Those payments are taxable, but no income tax was deducted at source. So everyone received the gross amount, and that's because the government wanted to get money into the people's hands, the most amount according to the legislation, as quickly as possible. Once you complete your 2020 income tax return and you include the CERB payments with whatever other income you had in 2020, there may very be a lot of people who don't have the money to pay all the tax they owe. And that's a third kind of person who is going to have a problem not repaying excess CERB payments, but paying their income tax liability. What are those people going to do? They're either going to have to borrow from somewhere, and if they can't borrow from anywhere, and they have tax debt, other debt, credit card debt, they're going to have to look for a debt settlement plan. And the best place to come to for a free consultation to eliminate your debts is a licensed insolvency trustee. We meet with people all the time who require a debt settlement plan, who want to avoid bankruptcy. And that's what those people are going to have to do. For the first type, those that received excess payments by mistake but can't repay it now that CRA is asking for it, and for those who completed their tax returns and find that they cannot afford to pay their income tax liability for 2020, we can help those people with a debt settlement plan. The ones that may also be charged with the F word, fraud, that's going to be a lot tougher. There may not be a debt settlement plan if you can't afford to repay money that you obtained fraudulently. But that's only going to be a small minority of the people. For the greater majority of the people who just have too much debt and cannot pay, we can set up a good debt settlement plan for them and have them avoid bankruptcy. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, the Ira Smith team is fully operational. Both Brandon Smith and myself are available to speak with you at any time by telephone, video meeting, or we can communicate through email. So send us a message, give us a call. We would love to speak with you. In the meantime, we hope that you and your entire family remain safe and healthy.